In this video, we'll be doing yin yoga for anxiety relief. You will need a bolster or a pillow, whichever you have on hand. It doesn't have to be anything specific. To get started, just come onto your mat, stretching out your legs and your feet as you need to come into supported child's pose. So bring your pillow or your bolster. I like to kind of get on top of it so that it's supporting my pelvis, squeezing with my knees and leaning forward. This allows the heart to be supported on the front side of our chest, which is not usually something that we feel in our everyday lives. And from here, breathing deep into your belly. And excuse the sun. The shadows are kind of weird in this video, but I wanted to get something out this week, as it seems that anxiety can be a normal occurrence in many people's lives. And with the practice of yin yoga, it doesn't have to be. And remembering to breathe in for a count of 3. And then lengthening the exhale, so exhaling for a count of 4. And gently rotating your head back to center. And then over to the other side so that we're balancing out both sides of the body. And just really focusing on the breath, feeling a gentle massage underneath the rib cage, the abdomen, and the chest, just by being supported by that bolster. And from here, gently turning your head back to neutral. Shifting your weight back, using your hands to press yourself back up to a comfortable kneeling position. And just leaning your weight backwards, bringing that bolster right onto the tops of your thighs. So I like to pull it into my belly, right underneath my ribs. And then all we're going to do is literally just lean forward. So we're not thinking about posture. We're not thinking about what's right. This is going to give you a very deep stretch all the way from the back of your tongue to the tippy toes of your feet. And this is a very quiet pose. It brings you into a parasympathetic state so that your body can focus on relaxation and repair. I like to place my palms face up and then kind of gently drag them back towards my hips so I have a little bit of lift and spread in my collarbones. And you'll notice that you get closer and closer to the bolster. So the goal is not to get your head to your feet. The goal is to let gravity do the work here. we've been holding this for a few minutes now, so gently coming out, pushing your hands into the floor, gently rolling the shoulders back and down, maybe rotating your neck, whatever movement feels good. And placing that bolster now in front of you, bringing your legs out to a wide straddle. We're going to come into a half butterfly pose. So bringing that right sole of the foot in towards the inside of that left thigh. And placing that bolster again on the top of this extended leg, pulling it in towards your abdomen. And then just leaning forward. You should feel a nice stretch on that right side, the low back, the glute, maybe even in the shoulder. And again, just focusing on the breath, inhaling for a count of 3, exhaling for a count of 4. And to come out gently using the hands to push into the mat, letting your body move as slow as necessary, placing your hands behind you and windshield wipering your knees from side to side. And taking the other side, extending that right leg out in front of you and bringing the left sole of the foot in towards that right thigh. Placing the bolster on top of that extended right leg. And gently aiming the forehead down towards the knee. Maybe touching the bolster, maybe not. Again, we're not worrying about posture or alignment. We're just letting gravity do its work. The practice of yin yoga might seem overly simple, but sometimes the most simple things can be the most effective. And to come out, gently placing your hands, pushing into the mat to raise your head back up to neutral, a nice comfortable seat. Then from here, moving the bolster out in front of you, moving as slow as possible. There's no need to rush. And windshield wipering your knees from side to side just to make sure that your low back feels cared for. We're going to come to lie on our back. So you want to push the bolster behind you. We're not quite done with it yet. But from here, we're going to take a nice massage of the low back. So moving the knees from side to side. You can even place your hands or your fists underneath your sacrum, which provides like a nice massage for your own body. And then placing your ankle across your knees, so coming into a reclined figure 4. And lifting your hips up off of the mat, gently placing them over to one side and taking a nice reclined twist. So this allows our side body to open. The fascia that goes across our body often gets contracted, tightened. And so play with this stretch until you feel that side body opening up through your ribs, throughout your glute. And if you need to take it a little bit deeper, you can cross your knees, sort of stacking them so that there's more weight on that bottom leg and taking you into a deeper twist. And this isn't always comfortable, so you can also prop your knees up with a bolster. Ultimately, I want you to find the best working pose for you where you feel comfort, relaxation, and opening up through the side of the diaphragm. And coming out ever so slowly, bringing your knees back to center, lifting your hips back to neutral. And same thing on the other side, so crossing your ankle over your knee like a figure 4. Lifting your hips up off of the mat, shifting them slightly to the side, and opening up your arm into a nice reclined twist. And breathing into that other side of the body, so we're opening up both sides of the diaphragm here. Throughout the day, this area gets really shut down, especially if you are in a job position where you're seated, or even manual labor where you are forward facing. And coming out of this pose, gently shifting your knees back to center, lifting your hips up to come back to a nice neutral position on the mat. Just taking a few breaths here just to see how you feel after almost 20 minutes of yin. And then rolling yourself up to find your bolster or your pillow, and you're going to place it right behind your low back. So we're coming into a supported saddle pose. So I want you to bend your left knee, so bringing your ankle towards your hip bones. And if your quads don't get a ton of attention, you can stack as many blocks or blankets or pillows as you need. This is ultimately about stretching the front of the thigh, the psoas, and even all the way up to the diaphragm. Remembering to breathe on a count of 3, inhaling and exhaling for a count of 4. And after you've found some comfort in this pose, either staying here, or if you'd like to take it a little bit deeper, you can bend your extended leg, placing the sole of the foot on the mat. And then to take it even one step further, opening up that knee into a gentle twist. And to come out, bringing that knee back to neutral. And I like to hug it in towards my chest, which actually might take the stretch a little bit deeper. And holding here for just a few breaths. And then as we're holding on to that knee, rolling over off the bolster. I like to call this dead fish pose. It's just sort of something I made up. So my body is off of the bolster and I'm still in a twist, but you will feel this actually target the psoas minor. So this is really about feeling here. If you look at my pose, my body is off the bolster or the pillow, but my shoulder is still supported. So it's taking you into a deeper supported back bend while you are opening up that front thigh. And again, inhaling into that discomfort. And exhaling, just letting yourself sink deeper and deeper. As we support the back and bending and opening up the diaphragm while still being supported by the floor, it allows us to kind of co-regulate with gravity and experience deep relief from anxiety or stress. To come out of this pose, just rolling over onto that side. So I'm just bringing my arm up and over, taking a pause right here. It's moving ever so slow, using my hands to push me back up to seated. And windshield wipering my knees from side to side. And bringing my low back towards the bolster to take the same thing on the other side. So I'm bending my right leg so that my ankle is in line with my hip. And I'm leaving my left leg extended. And then I lay down on the bolster so that I'm supported in a slight back bend and a deep thigh opener. And again, stack up as many props as you need, as many pillows as you need. There is no shame in using props. This is about comfort and about kind of targeting these areas where we're allowing space and decompression. And again, I'm going to take all variations of this pose. But if you're feeling extra exhausted and this is a good enough stretch for you, staying here is the right thing. And coming into a deeper variation, I'm going to bend my left leg, bring the sole of the foot to the mat, and just open my knee out to the side. So you're in kind of a reclined twist. Inhaling into that sensation. In all of these variations, you will feel the sensation move just a little bit into the pelvis. Inhaling for a count of 3 and exhaling for a count of 4. And again, one step deeper, you can bring that knee in towards your chest or just simply roll over onto that side where your knee is open. And again, I just sort of made this up, but I call it dead fish pose. So my body is off of the bolster, but my shoulder and my arm is open and supported by the bolster. And what this does is really target the iliacus and psoas minor, so that we're getting a really broad opening from knee all the way to the diaphragm. And if none of this makes sense to you, you can practice over time, just so long as it feels good and we're targeting a stretch in that bent right thigh. And to come out of this pose, just bringing the arm back to meet your other arm. So you're in a nice fetal position. Just taking a moment here to give yourself some self-love for taking time for yourself. And gently moving that bolster away from the mat to come into our final relaxation. So not fussing too much, just turning over onto your back, shifting the shoulders, returning to your natural breath, and just allowing yourself to drift off in your final Shavasana.